We're back. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday night OWCP chats with Chris and Gini.
Yep.
All right. So tonight, I'm probably going to say this a few times since people are going to be hopping on. Hello, everybody on Instagram. How are you? Um, we are going to do our monthly Q&A. So when we say we're going to do Q&A, you don't have to worry about asking your questions on there, although I will go back and answer the questions. But this is why I said come here and ask your questions on tonight's chat. You can ask anything OWCP issue related.
You can try to ask other things, but there's a real good chance I'm not going to have the answer. We'll see.
And so a lot of the questions that you guys are going to ask, always remember there's different unions and different agencies. Some rules apply to you, some rules don't apply to you, and some rules are not supposed to be told to you, I guess. Is that a good way to put
Okay,
it?
that's pretty cryptic, but
Yeah.
when those things come up, we'll tell you all about it.
So get ready to get your questions ready. We're going to give you guys a few time. Good evening, Tina from El Paso, Texas.
Hey,
Let's
all
go.
right.
Stupid Pfizer's Ron.
What's happening, Ron?
And
Is
is
this
this
Doll's
Doll's
Kitchen?
Kitchen? I'm starving. Oh, hey, Thomas. He's the TSA president for LaGuardia, Newark, and JFK.
Buddy, Doll's Kitchen is closed, but it was real delicious tonight.
We did burritos and tacos
And taco salad.
and taco salad. Yeah.
I can't eat tortillas
What's
right
up,
now.
guys? Hey, Ron.
cheese.
Hey, Judy. All right, so tonight is Q&A. And before we get started, let me do some housekeeping. And if I forget anything, my cute little co-host over here will fill it in.
Want to say hello to Lonnie Duke? What's up, Lonnie?
Hey,
We
Lonnie.
saw Lonnie in person in Sacramento.
It's
That was
so
very
nice
cool.
meeting you. Hola, Victor.
What's up, Victor?
Um,
Missed you in Orlando, man.
Hey, Victor, I saw that TikTok you were doing with your daughter. You got some moves, buddy. That's some mango moves. I'm not the vice president for the entire Northeast
I am
region.
now.
Oh,
You're gonna need to read those on the phone there.
yeah.
Might be a little too far away.
So we need to connect, Thomas, so we can come out and do union training for OWCP for your TSA people.
It is training like no other. It's not that you guys don't have a trainer and that he doesn't know his stuff, because you do and he does. It's just I do it different, and I really, really enjoy doing it. So I'd love to come out and do it live in person.
Kansas City office is
A godsend.
Aw.
I'm glad to hear that, Kevin.
Well, thank you. Oh, Judy, I've been using my cup all the time. It keeps my water cold.
Really bad for you. You just couldn't read it. That was Julie.
Oh, Julie. No, Judy is on there.
Okay.
Judy Rapicki's on there.
Okay.
So I am using my cup. It works wonders if I want some cold, because this is like a Yeti. It's so nice and chill.
And you're not required to send us gifts, but it sure was nice. So thanks for
that. And the girl that made him, you did an excellent job.
Judy. Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we are going to do Q&A tonight. So go ahead. You can tag your folks, you can share to your group pages, and tell them to come on over and ask away. Ask any of your OWCP questions. And that's why we need to talk about APW training. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, say when. Say when.
That was my daughter's TikTok.
Yeah.
I know you don't have TikTok, but I saw it and I thought it was cool. I was wanting to join in and dance and do the little dance with you guys.
So we got some of our doctors on. Dr. Bressler in Homestead, Florida is on. And he was good enough to put his phone number on there. So if you're around Homestead, he's there for you. He's trained up, ready to go. So give him a holler. Anybody that wants to see him, you can see his phone number right there in the comments.
Jessica says, appreciate y'all, and Dr. Cooper from Phoenix City.
Yeah.
You know, we're very proud of our group of doctors that we have. And we understand there are things, as each office is growing, that there's going to just be some mishaps sometimes. You know, it happens in every business. So be patient. If there's any issues, you always can reach out to me and we get it handled right away. So we have next Thursday, those of you in the Massachusetts Oh,
The
those
Boston
of you
area.
who are in the Boston area, we are going to be in Quincy next week for Jay's open house. We hope to see a lot of you there. We're going to have some guests. We have some of Eric Blowers' attorneys that are going to be coming by. And you can ask them questions as well while we are there. So again, tonight is Q&A. So that is the only thing we have coming up next week. And then the last week we are going to Charlotte, the 20, whatever the last Thursday is, we are going to be in Charlotte for their 2-year anniversary with being a part of Federal Injury Center. So we're super excited. We're going to be there as well. And pretty much that's it for the month. So is there anything else you need to add to housekeeping?
No, that's about it. It's been kind of nice to be home this week. Although when we were out, it was cool being able to see everybody live in person.
Yes.
There's really nothing like that at all. And I had a chance to teach in front of some pretty nice crowds, and it was very receptive, or they were very receptive to the message of you should not have denied claims. I'm teaching everyone now what you can do yourself to get your claim approved. That way, if you're in Nebraska or Iowa or South Dakota, North Dakota, that area, places where there's no doctors, you have a fighting chance. And that's what we're here to do, is to give you a fighting chance to get your claims approved. So it was really great. Thanks to APW and AFGE for again allowing us to come out and giving us the honor to teach.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, man. There's a lot of banging going on. I think I got construction going on upstairs.
Oh, Victor, you're asking what happened to the Orlando office. So unfortunately, that doctor didn't work out, and you guys know we're we're sticklers about doctors that we place and make sure that they are willing to help you guys 100%. And we want that for you, to make sure that they are compliant. They're helping you with all your paperwork and helping you answer their questions. Again,
and they follow my company policies and rules. And if they don't follow our rules, we give them a chance. We retrain them. We'll give them like a 30-day notice that they have to correct. And then if they don't correct, we have the option of removing them. Sometimes it's in your best interest for them to be gone, and that's what happened in Orlando. But
we are going to get another one by the end of the year, way before the end of the year.
Two of our current Florida doctors would like to have offices in Orlando, so there's an opportunity for us to have 2 offices now.
All right. So again, tonight is Q&A. If you have any friends, any coworkers that need this help, tell them to hop on. Go ahead and share. I'll be sharing in a little bit. But get your questions, anything OWCP related. And let's see, we have Dawn here saying, my bill was paid, I thought. Then I got a bill and was told it was submitted, missing info and not paid. I contacted the doctor's office billing, and now they aren't in workers' comp anymore, but they were in 2022. When my bills were, the other bills were paid because they weren't sent correctly. This is so unfair to me now. They're threatening to send me to collections. It's their fault they submitted bills incorrectly. What should I do? First of all, I hope it's not one of our doctors. And if it's not, go ahead, Chris. You could answer her question on that.
So just by the way, I'm positive it's not a Federal Injury Center's doctor, but if it was, you would never get a bill from a Federal Injury Center's doctor, never, no matter what.
Right.
If anybody ever did, you'd have to just tell me, and my options are to kick that doctor out and wipe your bill off, or just wipe your bill off. But for other offices that aren't related to us, it sounds like what you're saying is they sent a bill into OWCP, but they got denied payment, and so now they're billing you. If that's what happened, that's ridiculous. And I would contact your claims examiner at OWCP and tell them what happened. Because when a doctor decides to take on your OWCP, that is their only way to get paid. They're not allowed to take money from you. So talk to your claims examiner about that. That is definitely not something they're allowed to do.
Yeah. Mark Witten, hello. He said he's from TS. He said, Mark Witten, formerly of TSA Tampa on LWAP. Did you have any questions, Mark? Ask away.
Yeah, if you're on LWAP and you're getting paid, that's fantastic. If you're not, let us know what's going on and we'll help you with that.
Jessica said, so my supervisor gets a CA-17 every 30 days. She asks for my letter in addition every time. My suite office will write on to her, but I don't think I should impose on the staff at Dr. Cooper's office. Is an additional letter of reference to CA-17 necessary?
Well, it's not necessary, but the thing is, supervisors will often ask for this stuff. You can, as a substitute, give them a CA-20. which is an attending physician's report. It's essentially everything that would go in a narrative. And if a doctor fills out a CA20 once, lots of times they don't have to refill it out again. So I think, because they could just change it and maybe change the date. I don't know. But try a CA20 and don't worry about the hassle to the doctor. We can take it. It's just that the supervisor's playing dumb or being dumb, and they're making you give unnecessary information to them. So just submit a CA20. It's all the information that would be in a letter.
Jeremy, yes, we do have a Greenville, South Carolina office. Just go on our website at federalinjurycenters.com, click the locations tab, and all of our locations on there. But we do actually have an office there.
Yeah, and check it out, Jeremy. That office is just crushing it getting accepted claims.
Yeah.
If you need your claim accepted, I'm certain you do. That's exactly the place to go.
Yeah. Judy, what happened to Chicago? Chicago's still there, as far as we know.
Yeah, Chicago.
Dr. Archuleo is on board
to him today.
Yeah,
he's super excited, enthusiastic.
Victor said, "Thank you. Mangoes is nearby." Julia said, "How often can I be sent for a second opinion?"
Well, it's my experience that a second opinion means a second, not third, fourth, and fifth. But I've seen third opinions, fourth opinions. The truth is they can send you to as many as they want, and you have to comply. It sucks, but it's the deal.
Yes. Okay, let's see. Jessica said, "Is an additional letter of explanation required every 30 days? My supervisor gets the CA17 every time, but they want a letter. Should she?"
There's no rule that mandates this. The supervisors aren't, even if they could reference a rule, they wouldn't know it. But I can tell you, there's not one. But you have enough problems as it is. I wouldn't pick battles that you don't need to. Just tell the doctor to do a CA20. It'll be more than enough. And if the supervisor keeps giving you a hard time, that's what your union's for. So, go complain with your union and let them fix it.
We got, how do you say her name? Kalia? Is that right there from LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Good evening. I'm a postal worker who was assaulted, and I'm having a hard time with finding a physician, psychologist with a doctor in New York City that accepts OWCP.
I can tell you that you're not alone in that. That shouldn't make you feel any better. But finding good psychologists, psychiatrists is tough. They're few and far between, and that do OWCP. We have an office in Manhattan, and they may well have a relationship with a psychologist or psychiatrist. You're welcome to call them by just going to our locations tab at federalinjurycenters.com and just scroll down to Manhattan, New York. It's alphabetical. And you can call and ask. And if they know somebody, they'll certainly tell you. I don't know anybody in New York, and that's real frustrating. Now, you can use your health insurance, and I don't like it, but you can do it.
Yeah, we are working with all of our offices to help them get mental health providers and help you guys. But I did read something the other day that you're at your job with EAP, they definitely can do the counseling there as well. So
yeah, that's a good point.
I was reading that the other day.
They can do it. I don't know how effective they are, but they're certainly there for you.
So if you can't find anybody and that's your last resort, try the EAP within your agency. And that's what it's all about there. I read that on the USPS website and the AFGE website. So you have at least those two options for you. All right. Dawn said, "I saw a doctor for months before my case was approved. Doctor was not a comp doctor, but the lady in their billing department said she could help me. And like I said, most was paid. However, the balance over 500 wasn't paid. I did contact my my claims examiner, and she was no help. I shouldn't be responsible for it. The others, 1,900 was paid to them from comp. I'm seeing an approved comp doctor now."
Yeah, I just don't understand why. I don't know why you're getting a bill. That's ridiculous. And because since they submitted the bill already, they can go back and just get it paid by OWCP. I'd be actually happy to talk to them. If you want to have them reach out to us here, they can, message us here or call the 877 number, and Gini answers that. And I'd be happy to talk to them and show them how to get paid so you don't have to pay them. And that goes for anybody that's getting bills from their doctor or hospital. I'd be happy to talk to those people and help them learn how to do that so they stop sending you bills.
Yeah, I haven't shared any of this live for today because I can't right now. So please go ahead and share to all the union pages that want us on there. Yes, Jessica said, tell the New York lady her USPS EAP can help.
Yeah.
This is why I'm telling you guys, if it is your last resort, at least you have that to go to till you can find a mental health provider in your state. And again, we are working and trying to help all of our doctors find one in their area. So it's going to be a little hard and long, but if your best bet is to go to your EAP, that's what you should do for sure. Mark said, can I be reevaluated for the amount of weight I can lift? Because my doctor has written 3 different weights and I am currently on LWAP and turned over to DOL OWCP.
Yeah, you just have to go back to your doctor and explain the situation and tell them that you need them to do a better job. But absolutely, you could get changed. You could have that changed every single day if your status changes every day.
Yeah. Julia said, I work 4 hours a day, then OWCP compensates me for the other 4 hours per their second opinion. I've been told by the supervisors that I would need to go to the USA Jobs and apply for a job if I were able to work an 8-hour day. Is this true? And I don't get to go back to my prior position?
Well, with an accepted claim, they're required to give you a limited duty offer. They're not going to want you to be on limited duty forever, but they have occupational health or occupational, forget what it's called, training programs and things like that. They're supposed to help you, and then any pay differential you should be getting back with. Not You shouldn't really have to turn in a CA7, but it's sort of like that. But you should be eligible for the pay differential if you end up taking a job that's less.
What did Victor say? Make sure if you call, Genie is not in Doll's Kitchen.
Victor's too funny.
He's so
I
cute.
want to say hello to Tanya. Tanya, I saw you on here earlier.
Oh,
and,
hey,
you
hey,
didn't say
Tanya.
anything. We love you.
Linda says my work comp case was approved after my disability retirement was approved. Now HR is saying I'm not entitled to any medical or compensation payments. Is this correct?
I'm sorry. Tanya had a funny thing. You'll read it in a minute. Can you read that one more time? See, when you're funny, it distracts me, Tanya. Read that again.
I wanted to say something, but I can't. My workers' comp case was approved after my disability retirement was approved.
Okay.
Now HR is saying I'm not entitled to any medical or compensation payments. Is this correct?
Okay, so you are entitled to medical benefits, but you are not entitled to receive OWCP compensation benefits at the same time that you're receiving OPM disability benefits. You can't receive dual benefits. They won't allow it. And so one has to go away to get the other. And I think your OWCP compensation is probably going to give you more because you're only getting in the first year 60% on disability, 40% in year 2. And on OWCP compensation, the least you'll get is like almost 67%. So check that out. But you can essentially cancel your federal disability and go back on OWCP. But there you're jumping through hoops with, CA7s, and it's a little bit of a hassle. So you just have to weigh that out. It's a real personal decision.
Diane said, is there any progress establishing a federal injury centers in Chattanooga? We're working on it, and we will make sure that we write that down and let Joe know that is a need.
As you can see, there's our map of locations. We have a lot of them, but there's a lot of the country that's not filled up yet, and we're aware of it. And it is our mission to put an office within range of every one of you in the entire country.
I think you and Joe probably talked to about 3 or 4 doctors, and the week is not even over yet already.
Yeah, we actually have 3 more doctors scheduled to talk to, new doctors right now. And just a little hint, there's a new one coming on in Portland that already signed up.
Yes.
Surprise.
Tanya said, what about old diagnostic imaging, sending bills 2 years after the fact? Can I use that for the barbecue?
Yes, because using it for toilet paper would be a little rough.
Oh.
That was what I laughed at earlier.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, look, an imaging center sends you a bill 2 years later. Yeah, I don't think so. Sorry about that. Now, they can send you to collections, and that could, damage your credit. And so that sucks. But it's ridiculous that they would send you a bill 2 years later anyways. If I was running that imaging center, I'd probably fire my billing people for waiting 2 years to send out a bill.
Jerry, Chris and I, well, it was actually me. I was just telling Chris, we haven't seen you on here for so long. And, Even Renee Marie, because she's always on here. We missed the old group of federal friends that when we first started, they used to come on all the
Some people
time,
don't need it anymore, so they don't have to
and
come
we
back
understand that.
and listen to boring OWCP. But hey, Jerry, it sure is good to see you on here.
We have Federal Injury Centers of Oklahoma City on here.
Yes, I was just talking with Dr. Snowden today, and
Yes.
he's fired up, and he's already gotten the vast majority of his cases approved, and he's in Oklahoma City. So think about that. Most of you have you at least know somebody who's had a denied claim or that for whatever reason didn't have a claim approved. But our offices are just nearly batting 1,000 to use a sports term, and yeah, Dr. Snowden. Today I was talking to him about it. I forget the number, and I wrote it down, but my paper's over there. And I asked him, and how many approved claims he had, and I'll be darned,
Thank you.
it was almost 100%. Incredible. So, anyways, I'm saying if you're in Oklahoma City or you're in Oklahoma, there's no better place to go. There are other places to go. I don't like to say names, but like one of them doesn't do any therapy, and that's okay if you don't need it. But if you need it, that's going to suck. And the other one is a little bit Looney Tune. So give Dr. Snowden a call.
Yes, Dr. Snowden he's a badass. We have Tim on with Federal Injury Centers of DMV. That means I was going to say Detroit, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. He's got 7 offices.
Yeah.
Tim has got 7 federal injury offices in the DMV area.
And he's just like Snowden when it comes to approved claims. His offices, his doctors are, fully engaged, locked in, and their claims are getting approved. It's really amazing what we're able to get done.
We have Emma. She said hi from Bakersfield, California. I know
What's
where
up?
that is.
Yeah.
Is there a federal injury centers in Detroit, Michigan? No, not yet. We are working on it. A while back, like I think when we first started, we did have somebody, and then
Not in Detroit.
no. I mean, like we were talking to somebody, and I think the paperwork scared them.
Yeah, it's so
It's
frustrating.
so sad.
Many of you have heard me say this, but for every one office that we've got that you just saw, there's at least 100 that tell us no. And it's not because we have a bad offer. Our offer is actually fantastic. Ask the 50 offices we have. It's just that what we do for you takes a lot of effort, and some doctors are just frankly very lazy and don't want to do the work.
Miss Morris said, how many doctors to get approved for OWCP to pay you?
I don't understand.
We don't understand that question.
If you could just look at your question, maybe there was a typo in there, and resubmit. We'll get back to it when it comes back around.
Ron Speakman said, Chris, I think she can get the back pay without pausing her OPM as long as it's back pay. I'm currently waiting on my back pay with Rachel working on it, and I was told that it wouldn't pose a problem because it's back pay.
Yeah, okay, so back pay is different. What I was talking, and you're right, Ron. What I was saying is you can't receive dual benefits at the same time, so you can't receive pay for today and disability for today at the same time. But back pay is back pay. If there was no disability at that time, then that's fair game.
Mr. Younger Gang said hi from Debbie, Round Lake, Illinois. Well, hello.
All right.
Jerry said, sorry, I had surgery, but I'm back. Well, I hope you're recovering okay, Jerry.
Yeah, and welcome back.
Maria said, I tell anyone who listens. Let's see. Mary said, done with my surgery, but my body kind of having trouble about it. It's swollen inside and painful also. Now forced back to work. I don't think I can do it the same work. Very sad. Didn't knew it myself.
So I'm not a doctor for those of you that are new, and one of my business partners loves it when I tell everyone I'm not a doctor, but the fact is I'm not one. But I can tell you that a lot of conditions get better with treatment, with therapy. So talk to your doctor about that. I don't know your particular situation, but a lot of it does. And with an approved claim, you can get a CA-17 that can trigger a limited duty offer, so you can go to work at some level, and be able to clock in and get paid. And if that's something you want to do, that talk to your doctor about that.
We do. Tim is letting everybody know we do have a new office, Federal Injury Centers of Richmond, Virginia. We knew that was a hot area, and Tim's grabbed it. So
well, there's just so many people in Richmond, and we really do like to focus on the high density areas, the high population areas. But we have small towns too.
Diane, you said, who do we cut? Okay. So if you have a doctor that is maybe interested in joining the franchise, it obviously there's things that go along with it, contracts, franchise fees, and whatnot. Just have them or you give me a call at the 877-787 OWCP number, or they can email me at Gini, Gini at federalinjurycenters.com. I look it over and then I go ahead and I pass it on to Joe and Chris, and then Joe will take it from there. Ruth said, Redding, California is a possible target for a center. Lots of federal agencies up here. Yeah, we know. When we went to the APW state convention, it was crazy. We got everybody asking for every city in California possible.
Yeah, right now in California, we have 4 offices, 3 in Los Angeles County and 1 in San Diego. And we are well aware of the need in California. It's devastating what's happening to federal employees out there. And so we are, like any other place, but really in California, we are actively searching for new offices to be able to help you throughout the state.
Yeah.
I'd say hang in there, but I know how frustrating it is.
Acura Monroe said, I have an old case. Can I reopen it? Pain still exists.
Yeah,
Yes,
as
you
long
can.
as the case was ever approved, you can get it reopened with a letter of medical necessity from your doctor explaining medically why it needs to be reopened and what the doctor intends to do to help you.
Oh, you guys are so sweet. Mary said, thank you guys. You guys are angels to everyone. And Judy said, yes, they are. You have to remember, everybody always sees Chris and I. It's like we're the face of the company, but you have no clue how the backing, Tom and Laura and Joe and Emmy and Jennifer and Ed, how much the two of
Christina
us,
and Francis. Yeah, I mean, we've got
that we rely on them because they are our backing,
we have a small team of about 10 people, I think, or maybe 11, I can't remember. And it's amazing that we're able to operate at this level with a small staff like that. But the thing about it is our staff is freaking great. I mean, I wouldn't trade any of them. There's no way. There's no way. No way. And, just like her, if she tried to leave, I'd just duct tape her and put her in a closet.
That's what he said.
And if Jennifer and Emmy tried to leave, I'd just call their husbands and tell them to, go ahead and duct tape your wife and put them in the closet until they straighten up. They're not going anywhere.
I mean, unless Matthew McConaughey takes a box cutter and cuts me out,
he'll bring her back.
He's not bringing me back. So I know when you guys say we are angels, we feel flattered, but you know what? It's the team behind us as well, that they make all of this happen. They train all the doctors. They do all of the hard work. And then we're here sitting in front of you and training and going to conventions. But it's the team. This is a whole team effort, and we're so thankful to our team.
That's right.
Yeah. Mary Ann Prater, how are you?
A long
time, Mary Ann. Let's see. She says, hey guys, how much is paid percentage for medical disability? How do you go about starting it when the doctor does his paperwork?
So that's a great question. To get medical disability. So first of all, it's not OWCP. For those of you that are interested in this topic, you can get medical disability for any reason. It doesn't have to be a work comp issue. In one of my books, I wrote about this fictional story of a guy fishing and a shark ate his arm. Okay, that was definitely not work related, but now he's on disability.
Right.
So anything that prevents you from being able to do your federal job, the position at your job, could potentially qualify you for federal disability. So the Office of Personnel Management, the requirements for federal disability are to apply for Social Security, whether you get Social Security or not, it's irrelevant. You have to apply. You need a medical report that explains medically why why you qualify for medical disability. That goes into the Office of Personnel Management, probably with some forms. And Ron was on here earlier speaking, and he went through that successfully. Mm-hmm. So Ron, feel free and respond to that because you know all about the forms and things that need to get done. But on the first year with medical disability, you're making 60% of your previous income. On starting in year 2 all the way to the end, whatever the end is, retirement or whatever, you're making 40%. But the catch is, and the cool thing is that you can still get another non-federal job, any non-federal job. And as long as that job doesn't pay you more than 80% of your previous income, then you can have that income and the disability income at the same time. So there's an upside to disability, but truthfully, disability is my least favorite topic because it means, especially in the context of work comp, that everything kind of failed, and that's not my favorite thing.
Kathy, you asked, how do you get an in-person consult with our director, Godfrey? Well, he doesn't work for us. We don't work for him. I don't know how you can get in touch with him. Do you know?
So Godfrey's a lawyer. How do I
Yeah.
get an in-person consult?
With your director, Godfrey.
So yeah, it's interesting. I know Godfrey is. We met briefly, and you're gonna have to Google his office. I don't know him personally. I just met him
Right.
once. You'll have to Google him.
And if any, like a lot of you are saying, if you want Eric to call you, you gotta send me your phone number so you can message me after the chat, or if you have me on the personal Facebook page, Sarojini Homes, you can message me there because both of them get like 3,000 messages a month, like no joke. So that's how you, if you want Eric to give you a call. So Eric will be doing schedule awards and third party
Yeah,
accidents.
that's pretty much all he's gonna be doing.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it, because the cool thing is calling Eric is still a good idea, because he wants to evaluate the case and make sure that everything's smooth before he refers you to someone else who will specialize in whatever you need. So yeah.
Yeah. Mary said, I got one more question. Post office charged me for health insurance, which is why I'm paying them every month from the DOL. Called post office and they said I waited 1 year for my surgery and it was not my injury related case, which rotator cuff which rotator cuff to tear. Doctors delayed all the procedures and now they want me to pay my health insurance. I really don't know what to do.
So
Mary.
here's the issue. I'm not I don't work in your agency. And I have been the administrator of group health plans before for many, many, many years. And what I know about group health plans, which is I believe what you're referring to, is that money is taken out of your paycheck, right? So you get a paycheck and certain things are deducted. And one of the things deducted are health insurance premiums. So if you're not getting a paycheck, they still require you to pay those premiums in order to keep your health insurance active. That may be what's happening. More than that, I may not be able to answer you properly, but there's a lot of people on here that do work in your agency that can answer that very, very effectively. Also, your union is probably an expert at answering that particular question.
So Diane wants us to briefly talk about schedule award. With that said, Mark, yes, you can get a schedule award for your leg nerve pain damage from your lumbar injury. Yes. Your leg is what bothers you. Said, okay, so if you have a schedule award issue and you want to talk to Eric, please message me. And there are, if you guys are going to always say that you need an attorney, our go-to is to go to Eric. Eric will then send out to Christina in Washington. He may send you to Deborah Hauser. He may send you to the, what are the group in California? Those guys up in Goodkin. And so, or, you know, their Boston
we're just going to be name dropping from here, but trust me, he knows all the lawyers. I can vouch for that because I was in a room with all of them once, and they all know Eric.
Yeah.
So he makes effective referrals as needed.
So when I tell you, okay, if you have any issues that you need to deal with for as far as a federal attorney goes, you can still send it to me because then I send it to Eric and then he gives it to whoever he needs to give it to.
But to answer that question, that can I speak on schedule award?
Yes.
When's the best time to get a rating? If you go to any doctor that does 6th edition ratings, which is what's required, they're going to require you to be at maximum medical improvement, or MMI, at which point they will do the impairment rating, which will trigger the schedule award payments. The key to that is when you're at MMI, which is a medical decision. Now, there's a lot of deadlines in OWCP. The deadline to apply for a schedule award is death. As long as you're alive, you're able to apply. So there's no cutoff for it. But the soonest possible time that doctors recommend is when you're at maximum medical improvement. You've gotten as good as you can get, and now it's time to do an impairment rating.
This is hard for me to read from Marianne Prater. She said, I lost my son in a head-on collision last March. With all that I'm going through at the post office and OWCP, losing my child makes things and working very hard. Mary, we are so sorry. I wish you would have reached out to us.
That's so
and I
terrible.
know, we're very close with you and we've known you for quite some time. So if you ever need to talk, give me and Chris a call if you need to. We're really sorry to hear that. Another Mary said they deducted my health insurance every month with DOL. It's been paid, but the post office still charged me again for the month. Is this right?
It doesn't sound right, because what you just described sounds like they're trying to get you to double pay. Again, I go straight to the union and get help. That's what they're here for. The union is The union can be powerful. They can, when they're in your corner. So go find a union rep and ask for help.
And we know a lot of you say, but my union doesn't help me. So
Somebody wants to.
somebody's there. There's union reps, there's NBAs, there's your national, and we hear it all the time that this person doesn't want to help. They're not helping. They have no clue. You just got to keep going to the next step. Talk to your stewards. And this is why we do steward training, because we educate them to help you guys that are not stewards. And there's so many other people to call for help like this. I mean, reach out to another local union president and see if they can even assist you in your area.
Victor wants me to just explain what MMI means,
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
happy to do that. So MMI stands for Maximum Medical Improvement. That is a medical decision made by a doctor saying, okay, all the treatment and all the procedures and surgeries and everything that you've done has gotten you to this point. You've plateaued, you've leveled off. This is as good as you're ever going to get. And at this point, we say you're at MMI, and we can do an impairment rating at that point. It doesn't cut off treatment necessarily. It doesn't cut off payment necessarily. It just says, hey, this is when you do MMI. This is when you do an impairment rating.
Yeah. Alicia says, once you've reached your schedule award, do you stop drawing work comp pay?
No, not necessarily, except that you can't receive schedule award payments and OWCP payments at the same time.
Judy says, I have such a challenging case. Any help is appreciated.
Yeah, I know, Judy. It's very frustrating. I spoke with your doctor, and he said he was going to work harder to get some surgeons to play ball and do the right thing. If I were you, I would stay on Dr. Say like glue.
Sandra says, you must pay your portion of health premiums or they will bill you. After 365 days of LWOP, they will cancel your insurance. Eek.
You got to keep it paid.
And like Chris was saying this, and he actually mentioned this at the last union meeting that he didn't realize what I was saying about the health insurance is when they use your health insurance. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, well, so when you use your health insurance for a work injury, you're hurting yourself a couple of different ways. One, you are not able to access your OWCP benefits because you use your health insurance. And OWCP benefits include payment for time off. It includes reimbursement for mileage, reimbursement for out-of-pocket expenses, reimbursement for time off, paid time off. Oh, wait, I said paid time off. It allows you the opportunity to get a CA-16, which would pay your bills for 60 days. And it gives you the opportunity to get a schedule award, like we were just talking about. But when you use your health insurance, you don't have any of those benefits. But also, using your health insurance will potentially raise your premiums on your health insurance in the future, which means it'll be more expensive to you because health insurance premiums go up when utilization of that insurance policy goes up. So if you use it for a workers' comp injury, then potentially the premiums can go up for everybody that's on that group policy. That's why it's one of the reasons it's so important that you get on OWCP, or at least make every effort.
Christina, hey, how are you? Chris will be passing through TSA on Sundays at Sunday, yes.
Yep.
And I was hoping to come by in with him because I won't be traveling with him and drop off some brochures for you guys and speak to whoever I need to speak to get some TSA training going. So Christina, please message me so we could chit chat. Acura said, I'm a retired postal worker, need direction to reopen my claim. I still have my claim number. Where can I get started? First of all, go right here to this website, federalinjurycenters.com, click the locations tab, and whatever office is close or convenient for you, if you'd like, you can give them a call and they'll be able to help with reopening your claim. Or you can, how do you say it when they have to Google? What do you tell them to put?
So yeah, if you just prefer to go to Google and find a non-federal injury doctor, that's fine with all of us. I mean, we want you to be happy and comfortable where you are. You just go to Google and search OWCP injury doctor in your city and state, or OWCP workers comp doctor in city and state, and whoever wants to help you will show up with that search. You are going to find us. I'm just letting you know because we want to help, but you may find somebody else. But it's easy to go to our locations tab and check. And all it's required to get a claim reopened is a letter of medical necessity that gets e-comped by your doctor, explaining medically why it needs to be reopened and what they plan to do to help you.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just trying to see because I'm all caught up here. Great. Okay. So what else, guys? What else? You know what the issue is? I wasn't able to share, and so
Yeah, so all of you can still share and just come back. If you leave the page, just come back. I don't think we're going to go anywhere in the 3 seconds that you might be gone. So just share it. One thing that I'm trying to teach our franchise doctors is to is to talk with you all when you go there as patients. Is to talk to you about the desperate need your coworkers have. Your coworkers aren't here necessarily listening to us talk, and so they're not benefiting from the information. And most of the time, and look, nobody talks to federal employees more than I do. Nobody. Okay, nobody. Add everybody up and they don't combine talk to you more than I do. And the thing that I know is that your big issues are: A, you can't find a doctor. Well, we're trying to solve the problem as fast as we can. B, you don't know what to do to access your benefits, right? And C, you're scared of your supervisor. So again, repeat after me: I don't care what my supervisor thinks, right? Or stupid visor, whatever you want, right? Get the supervisor mug at breakingowcp.com. But not knowing what to do is a real problem, and not knowing where to go. So you all have a responsibility to not keep this to yourself. Okay, what you need to do is go tell your friends at work, and I hope you have friends at work. If not, go make some friends and tell them that there's this Wednesday night chats thing, and you can learn about OWCP. And I always say two things about OWCP: is that number one, if you wait until you need it, it's too late. So don't wait. Those of you that are here are benefiting greatly. But the other thing is, even me, like, I teach this stuff and I do the best I can at making it entertaining. But workers' comp is kind of boring, right? And it ain't sexy until you need it. All right. So tell your friends, and this is what I keep telling the doctors that we work with around the country, to encourage your patients to go tell your friends. Don't be surprised if you're in one of our offices and one of our doctors or one of the staff asks you to pull your phone out and take a selfie and put it on your own Facebook page. Because the only way to help everybody, and our mission is to help everyone. Okay, we are on the hashtag road to 5,000 accepted claims. The only way to do that is to have more people know that we're here doing it. And nobody in their right mind would opt to go someplace where they have the odds of getting a denied claim are really high. Denied claim are really high. Nobody would do that. And so what they want is a place that can take care of everything. But anyways, it's important that you go tell people, because I can only talk to the ones that are here, and you're here and we're glad you are. But I need you to get more people here, because I would like to be able to educate all 2.8 million federal employees. And so that anybody that gets hurt at work, the supervisors are going to be in hell, because they can't get over on anybody anymore, because you're all educated on the whole process, the system. So please share this with your friends. And if you don't have any friends, for the love of God, go make some and then share it.
go make some friends.
Yeah.
You could be my friend.
Happily, but we already know this stuff. Happily. Many of you are already. But no kidding. Be an active participant with helping your union brothers and sisters. People are really struggling out there. You wouldn't believe the number of times, so maybe you would believe it, the number of times somebody says to me, I really wish that I would have known you years ago when I needed this. Well, yeah, I understand. I hear it all the time. And it must have been hell to try to go through this thing alone, because people feel like they're on an island all by themselves.
Yeah.
And when you come to Wednesday night chats, not only do you have us here, but you have our team behind us and a whole family of people that are here talking to each other and helping each other. That's why I feel so good about saying things like, well, I'm not an expert in your agency, but somebody here is. You guys can talk to each other here. So what I would ask you to do is go talk to people at work too, and let them know this is going on. Send a link. It's easy to copy the link to this and send it in a text message, put it in an email. Just do what it takes to let people know. Send smoke signals, whatever it takes.
Marianne Prater said, last question on mileage. I was told after a year you can't claim your mileage. 2, I did not get all my mileage. I questioned them about it. I was told I would have to figure out what days was not paid. I don't know how to read it. Do y'all have an idea how to read the letter they send you of what they paid?
Yeah, send it to me, Mary. Send it to me at Chris, CHRIS, at federalinjurycenters.com. I'll take a look at it. I'll respond to the email, let you know what they're telling you. As far as a year to get reimbursed on mileage, I've been told that before too, but I'm the guy who looks up the rules and knows the laws, and I've never been able to find that particular rule or law. I can tell you this, that making an attempt to get reimbursed will generate a letter from a claims examiner. It'll either generate a check or it'll generate a letter explaining why you're not able to, and then there will be a rule attached. In the meantime, I'm going to make a note to work harder. I've got this. I've got a friend on my phone. He's called AI, and I'm going to ask AI if he can help me find a law that I haven't been able to find. I just don't think it exists.
Georgiana said, "How do you get a procedure done without an ICD-9 code?" I don't think
How do you get a procedure? What?
done without an ICD-10 code. I
Yeah,
think you mean
ICD-10
9.
is a diagnosis code.
Yeah,
It's a code that doctors have to put on their billing forms
they have to
that
use that.
that coincides with the CPT codes, which is the billing codes, how they get paid. Um, no doctor will get paid, no procedure will be approved, and in fact, no claim will be approved without a valid ICD-10.
Let's see. We got a message. Can you read that one? I think it's from YouTube from Kimberly.
Yeah, I've just been written out of work for 2 weeks. What kind of leave should I take? My cases have not been accepted yet. If I take LWOP, how will that affect my leave? Well, the thing about LWOP without an approved claim is you won't get paid. So until your claim is approved, with pay being a serious consideration, you may have to use your sick and annual leave and start documenting your LWOP for leave buyback later on, and start documenting your ongoing care when your sick and annual leave runs out. That's an answer that really, really frustrates me, and it must frustrate you too. But the problem is you've got to have your claim approved before you can get paid LWOP, regardless. I mean, you just have to.
Yeah. Linda said, my case was approved for my shoulder, but I'm also having hip trouble. Can I file a claim for my hip? Yes.
Absolutely. You can file any valid claim. Any claim that is a legitimate claim, and I'm not saying yours isn't, I'm just teaching something here. Anything that's legitimate and timely filed, meaning filed within 3 years, you are well within your right to do so.
I'm sorry that I know there's a lot of you, you're saying that you can't get onto my personal page because a lot of you watch it from there. I have no clue what Chris did, so I'll have to go back and share it later, and then you can ask your questions and I'll be able to answer it.
What did I do?
You know, when you did that, you said you had to refresh. I don't know what you didn't click on mine name.
I guess next time you should probably get down here earlier. I don't know how to use this stuff. I'm just the guy that sat here and do this thing. That's what I do.
You know, with Chris's issue, 60% of the time it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
I can't believe I said that.
She's been telling me she's going to do that. Look, if you're not a fan of the movie Anchorman, you're missing out.
60% of the time it works every time. Sex Panther.
That doesn't make sense.
Christina says, where can I get help on writing a narrative? And I need help on what to send it on an appeal.
So you shouldn't be writing your own narratives. And anyways, without good medical rationale, most narratives aren't going to work. I'd say 99% without medical rationale. You need a doctor to write narratives. We do that stuff. I just don't know where you're located. If you're not located close to us, you're going to have to find a doctor that will write this. Now, you can include all of your information. You can write a whole personal statement, but the doctor's going to have to put some medical stuff in there for them to accept anything.
We have Dr. Meg Morris on from Federal Injury Centers of Louisiana there.
Not just Louisiana. Where's he at?
I can't remember the name of the city. It's a different.
What's the name of your city?
It's a different city.
He's right outside of Baton Rouge. So, but check us out right there. Look right there. He's right there. Okay.
Another Mary said, yes, I'm glad I got you. Otherwise, I don't know where I stand now. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you all each day. Aw, thank
Same
you.
to you.
And Mary Ann Prater said, thanks. As usual, y'all are the bomb.
Thanks.
We have Federal Injury Centers of Charlotte, North Carolina on.
Dr. McMorris is in Livingston, Louisiana. Thanks, Doc.
Federal Injury Centers of McKinney, Texas is on. Texas? What? How did I say that?
Hey,
so Texas.
I'm drinking coffee tonight out of this coffee mug. I'm a Texan. We live in Florida, but I'm a Texan. All right. And it's a Davy Crockett mug. And it says, it's a quote by Davy Crockett during the Alamo. He said, you may all go to hell and I will go to Texas. And that pretty much sums it up for Texans. I just like to say that.
Stacy said, question. So I'm currently on work comp. Are rural carriers expected to go to physical therapy during work hours, then return to work? My supervisor texts me this. Good afternoon. Report to work tomorrow to carry your route. Clock out to lunch for your therapy and return to finish your route once the therapy is done to finish your route. Why would I be expected to use my time to go to therapy, and how are they going to pay me for any time I work? Where's the salary?
So here's the good news for you. When your claim is accepted, you are allowed up to 4 hours of your work shift to go to therapy. And that means you can get paid LWOP to be out on therapy. What you need to do is give your supervisor proper notice that you're going to need time off. They may not like it, but repeat after me. I don't care what my supervisor thinks. And so, what you need to do is get a printout of all your appointments from the doctor or from the therapist, and take that to your supervisor and say, "Here, this is notice of the times I'm going to need to go to the doctor." Now, they cannot force you to go to a doctor at any particular time. I always say this: what if your doctor is closed from 12 to 2 every day? And many doctors are. You're supposed to go to the doctor at your lunchtime when they're closed? No. What if the doctor closes early at, say, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock? You're expected to go to the doctor at night? No. You're not expected to go to the doctor in the morning either if they don't open in the morning. So you're expected to go to the doctor when the doctor or the therapist or whoever has a time slot for you. And so OWCP understands that, and you're allowed to go during your work shift. You may have to go back and clock back in. You may be able to work it out to where you can do half a day, whatever. But you do not have to just pick whatever time the supervisor tells you to go. They need to be able to work that out. And that's another great case to take to your union to get help.
Okay, so this question, I don't know how to feel about it, but Amy Brooks, I'm going to try to answer your question. And then you can message me privately on this. She said, OWCP referred me to a second opinion doctor after I came to an FIC.
Happens all the time.
I have been under my original doctor's care since 2017. After I saw seeing the second opinion doctor, he told me to stay away from FIC. Then after further research, I found out he's on your wall of shame. Can you speak on that? We can't speak on the office if we don't know which office it is.
And we don't officially have a wall of shame.
Yeah.
Although I like that idea
I mean,
lot, but we don't have one.
Yeah. There are doctors that have been with us for a long time, and sometimes we have to let them go because of the rules we hold very strongly in our compliance. So if we take them out,
Yeah, that's not what she's talking
it's
about.
not a wall of
She's not talking about
shame.
that. She's talking about second opinion doctors. So some second opinion doctors do have a bad view of us. That's probably because we just win a lot. And even when you go to the second opinion doctor, those second opinion doctors seem to be paid to shut things down, right? And when we're able to show good medical necessity for things, it kind of shuts them down. And they don't like that. And some of our doctors, and I think I know who you're talking about, but some of our doctors are really, really prolific at kicking ass. And so we're not going to be everyone's favorite.
Mark said, I've been there fight with this OWCP case from 2019. Thank you guys for your help. I couldn't do this without you. Aw.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Well, yeah, okay, Federal Energy Centers of Oklahoma. Without you all. I know what you meant, Mark.
Oh, real quick, let me say, Troy Pearson's on. His wife is Dr. Pearson. Troy runs the office in Kansas City. I was just speaking with him. He's awesome. This guy's got things on lockdown. He knows what's up. And the office is already got like 100% of their claims approved. So, I mean, this is the thing. No, you want to know why second opinion doctors aren't our biggest fans?
Because we get the claims approved the first time.
So, yeah, Troy, thanks for being on here. Our doctors and their offices, they come on to see what you're saying, to say hi. And I like to just give them a shout out because you need to know where they're at, because when you need help, you need to have a doctor ready to go.
Yeah. We have Kevin Andrew. He said, sorry, late to the party. FIC of Cleveland, Ohio.
What's up, Cleveland?
Got him. Miss Wiseman, only 4 hours. My doctor is an hour and 45 minutes away one way. So what would I do? That's for the mileage.
That's tough.
I mean, the therapy.
Yeah. You're only going to be eligible for up to 4 hours of time off. There's, if you can find something closer, that's better. But I understand you always can't. Many, many people drive hours to get to one of our locations because it's hours in between them and us, and there's nobody in between. Dr. Harper, what's up? Dr. Harper is in Birmingham, Montgomery, and Huntsville, Alabama. Nobody at Federal Injury Centers has gotten more claims approved than Dr. Harper.
Very true.
Everybody that's on here needs to give all the love, heart signs you can for Dr. Harper. because no kidding, and it almost puts tears in my eyes. Dr. Harper literally sets the standard for how to be great.
Yes.
So it's a real honor to have you on here, Dr. Harper. We
And
love you.
you can't not like him.
Oh my God. If you get
You
in the room with
can't.
this guy, he's always smiling, always happy.
He's always
Always,
happy. I've
always,
never
always. Look at me.
seen
I
I
actually
know.
have tears in my eyes. I love Dr. Harper. I mean, love. And I'm not just saying it.
No, he's
And
one
no
of our
offense to all the
faves.
rest of my
Yeah.
doctors that are on, but Dr. Harper's a flagship. He's the original.
He was with us from day one.
Freaking killing it. So thank you, Dr. Harper, for being here.
If you guys check out what Ron said, he said 4 hours on OWCP LWAT, give them a 3971 leave slip and leave near the end of the shift. I used 2 hours before my shift ended and never came back, and they cannot stop you, period. Don't let management tell you what to do. There's reasons why we refer to them as supervisors. Shaking my darn head. Maybe we should have management start filling out but hurt reports every time they feel offended. We'll tell them the law and tell them what not to do.
Hey, while Ron's here, let me say, and thank you so much, Ron, for answering that question. And those of you that are new here, this is the value of being on Wednesday Night Chats. I mean, you've got us here doing this thing, but we got somebody like Ron out there. Jerry's in here answering questions, and it's so nice to have people on the inside to be able to help out, at that line that's hard for me to cross. They're on the other side of it. But Ron's got a podcast that's about to drop called Fed Up, FEDUP. Check that out. Ron, I think you have a Facebook page too people can follow that's called Fed Up. I'm pretty sure you do. It's been a while since I've been there. But I've already been interviewed. I'm looking forward to hearing my interview. He's got lots of interviews recorded that are going to be super awesome. Most of them are just fire. And one thing that really stood out to me is that when our podcast starts, I've got a lot to live up to because Ron's got like a natural radio voice. And
yeah, he does.
And he's able to get these questions out in a way that just like it's awesome. Okay. And his interviews, they really flow really, really well. So keep an eye out for the Fed Up podcast that should be dropping everywhere that you can find podcasts.
Marissa said, I had a really bad dog attack last week. My forearm got 4 deep wounds, ended up in the emergency room. I was approved by OWCP. I already talked to an attorney. He needs a USPS accident report. They are telling me they don't give that info.
Well, you can get your CA1. You can write up your own personal statement as well. And yeah, they do accident reports, and you should have access to your own accident report.
Joe said, Chris, I'm going to email you. I hope to meet you in Quincy, but I'm at my wit's end. 3+ years with FIC now and still slowly getting crippled. Hands turn blue and numb. Can't walk normal. I'm becoming so hopeless. Former vet who's always been a positive postal injury. I'm hurting so very much.
Yeah, I want to help you way before I see you in Massachusetts. So send us a message, a Facebook message with some contact information. Let me get somebody in touch with you.
Linda said, how do you not use your own insurance if you have an injury, can't work, and need surgery and a doctor's statement to keep you out of work? Any of your doctors wouldn't say it was work related. I didn't.
So if your doctor won't say did you say my doctor's like a federal injury center's doctor? Look, if it is work related, it is. And the thing with us is we're not in the business of getting claims denied. We're in the business of getting them, approved. But the question that you led with was health insurance, and you can use it. Nobody's saying you can't use it, but there's just a consequence to not using OWCP. As long as you reported your injury, at least you have a fighting chance to get that claim approved, and you can always go back and get your money back from the money you spent from your health insurance.
Can you read that bottom one from YouTube?
I need help. Currently using a federal injury center and don't feel like it's going well. I know a lot is involved, but think I need some additional help with answers. Okay, so send us a private message. Let's see what's going on, and I'll have somebody personally help you out. Again, it's our goal to get every claim approved. Some of them are harder than others, but we go for the impossible and everything from easy to impossible. So we won't give up on you. Send us a private message, and I'll have somebody reach out to you and get things straightened out.
Okay, so I just wanted to go back over again that we will be in Quincy, Massachusetts for their open house next Thursday. So those of you in the Boston area, come by. We're going to have a few of Eric's attorneys there as well. visiting. We look forward to see our old and new friends in the Boston area. Tears because I know want to help. Any help, Chris, would be greatly appreciated. We are going to help you. So,
Yeah, Joe.
Joe, we look forward to seeing you there. We should be in Boston about we'll be at Dr. J's office about 4 o'clock or so. From the airport. We're going straight there.
I think we're
So
going straight there, but we're getting picked up, and our ride might have other plans. So if we're not there immediately, it's only because our ride might have other plans.
Nina said, "I'm waiting on an appointment from an FIC. How long is reasonable for an appointment?"
Well, what office are you trying to get into?
Yeah, private message me,
No. Just
please,
put it
or
right
put it
here.
right here.
Put it right here. I want to know which office you're trying to get into, and I'll make sure you get a phone call first thing tomorrow. And for all of my doctors that are on here, you just witnessed my biggest pet peeve. Can you please tell your receptionist to answer the phone? Memphis. Yes, I will speak with the Memphis office tomorrow anyways. No, well, I'm talking to them Friday, but I'll talk to them tomorrow and make sure that someone calls you back right away.
Yeah, that just chops my ties. It's my
when you
pet
have
peeve.
so when you have 50
Uh,
offices and 50 offices have all their own staff, and then they get turnover. And by the way, my I have this thing, I call it's a criticism. It's something that I just say that you can't deposit excuses. Okay, so I understand that. I actually live it. So I'm not making excuses, but it just happens. You get all these different offices and all these different areas with lots of different people and personalities and stuff, and then you have problems. But the problems that just make me nuts are like the ABCs of it all. Like, how do you operate a medical practice without answering the phone? So we'll get you all squared away, Nina.
When I was working, I worked at the hospital being an RN. Then I went to a primary care doctor, and I told this story to Chris. You return every phone call. You don't delete anything. And that's my pet peeve. If
Yeah.
when I did not finish my calls at the end of the day, I stayed till every call. I wasn't looking at, oh, it's an 8 to 5 job. I stayed till I got my work done that day, called in medications, answered every phone, answered every question. It's like, it just irks me when people don't answer the phone, especially when we know you're in pain and trying to get an appointment.
But anyways, listen, no excuses.
Yeah.
We're not perfect either. We're just really good at what we do. Once you get in, it'll be great. You'll be
Yeah.
happy, especially at Dr. Wooten's office. But I really appreciate anybody that brings what they might consider negative feedback to me. I need this.
Yeah,
stuff,
we
so
need
I'm
it.
super
Yeah.
happy you bring this to us because we're constantly training, and I think it's awesome.
I never left a patient behind. Aw.
Yeah, Tanya, I can definitely say that too. I'll never ever give up.
Okay, let's see. We're at the last question. Acura said OPM owes me my awards that I did not fully receive after retirement. They stopped paying me. Can you help?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're having an issue with that, just message me and I could get you over to Eric. He's the one that would be able to handle all this.
The reason we ask you to private message us is because some of your stuff is private.
Yeah, we don't
And
want everybody having your
yeah,
number.
you probably don't want to put your cell phone number on blast. And so we want to be able to help you. And yes, thank you that you bought all 3 books. And I haven't mentioned that, but you see it back here. I've got books, breakingowcp.com. And you have a unique situation. Yes, you may email me at chris@federalinjurycenters.com. And I check my emails as often as I possibly can. And so I'll get back to you as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we hope we answered everyone's question to the best of our knowledge this week. We like doing Q&A. So next week, we will be on next week. We'll be on for the rest of the month.
All right.
Yeah. So we are here.
No more time off this month.
So don't forget, on the 15th of June, next Thursday, from 6 to 9, we will be in the Quincy office. Come by. We're going to have tons of brochures. We're going to give you brochures to give to your friends while you're there. It's a part. We have appetizers and drinks. Chris will do a mini OWCP lesson. He talks about the CA10 and the
We'll have
25
some
things.
fun too.
Yeah.
The in-person interaction is always really fun for me. If you're there, you're going to be raising your hand and answering questions and all kinds of stuff. I just like to have a good time. Judy said, waiting on book 4. Me too. I
Oh, yeah,
know.
you're waiting on book 4 too.
I know. Look, so what just happened is I'm combining all three books into book four. But when I combined them all, I wasn't happy with how I did it because I'm funny that way, and I'm really a super nerd. So I have to go through and rearrange the whole thing, like everything. The other thing is I just made a major edit to book one because when I wrote book one, the CA10 had not been revised
Oh, yeah, it
yet.
wasn't
It
revised.
wasn't revised for like 35 years when I wrote book one. But since then, they revised it, so I completely changed the chapter on CA10. I added a glossary in the back because one of our doctors, Dr. Arcoleo in Chicago, suggested that a glossary would be helpful to people, so I did that. And I added some more stuff in book one. So by and large, the content's the same, but I made some pretty needed changes in the book. So you can download Breaking OWCP Volume 1, 2, and 3 at breakingowcp.com. I have no more Volume 1 or 2 in print, in other words, paperback. So they're only available by PDF, but that's by design. I'm not being cheap. I'm actually trying to get you to put Breaking OWCP in your pocket. The way you do that is you download the PDF to your phone, you put your phone in your pocket. Now Breaking OWCP is in your pocket. The value of that is that every single time your supervisor says something stupid, you can turn it to the chapter that addresses that, which is easy because the table of contents are easy to go through. And then you say, yeah, I heard what you said, but what about this? What about this rule in the Code of Federal Regulations that says you have 4 hours to give me my CA16, right? So it's very valuable when it's on your phone because we always have our phone with us, always. But you don't always have the book with you, and that's why I want you to do it. Um, it's there to save you in the worst situations. That's why I wrote these books. So go to breakingowcp.com and just download it to your phone and take it with you everywhere you go. It's really, really important. I will be writing a fifth book. The fourth book is going to be the combination of the first three. And I already have the fifth book started, actually, with all the new stuff that I've been hearing and interactions I've been having with people, and some, just some new thoughts that I've had in OWCP and other ways that I can help you. I realize that I've got more to offer, so I'll be writing a fifth book also. And now that I've got all this cool equipment, the next thing is to record audiobooks.
Yeah.
So I want everything to be in audio format. And when I make the fourth book fully combined, I'm going to turn that into an audiobook.
Tiffany said, I need those, Chris, please. What is it that you needed?
www.breakingowcp.com.
Yeah.
They're super cheap. Look, I only charge enough to just cover my overhead. So if anybody thinks they can make a killing on books, they need to be like super famous and get like cool book deals from big publishers. I make just enough money so I can keep my website running, and print stuff when I need to print it.
Victor said, Chris, stupid visors, please. Victor loves using that word. Robert Frost said, which doctor is supposed to send the OWCP 5 form to OWCP?
Yeah, well, actually, your doctor can e-comp it, but so can you, because the e-comp account belongs to you. So you can actually just get the copy and e-comp it yourself if you like. And I think that that's the surest way to make sure it gets there.
He said, is it the attending physician or surgeon?
I keep getting this question. An MD is required. Okay, I would prefer it to be your treating doctor, but a surgeon can do it.
Right. Mark from TSA said, I need a new job. I want to work with you guys. LOL. Come on down, everybody.
Believe it or not, look. So here's the deal. We actually really love doing this.
Yeah, we do.
This is one of those deals where I say I can't believe I get paid to do this job because it's so rewarding being able to help you. And that's not just a thing I say. I mean, those of you that know me personally can vouch for it. I mean, I get a lot of pleasure out of watching your claims get approved and being part of that process. And we have a good time doing it. I mean, everyone of our staff gets to work from home. Everybody works from home. Okay, all of our staff has worked from home since day one. It wasn't because of COVID. It's just that's the nature of our business, and we're all spread out all over the country. We're in Massachusetts, Ohio, Texas, Florida, South Carolina,
Alabama.
Jeez, not our staff.
Oh, our staff.
Yeah,
okay.
Anyways, we're spread out. It's really interesting the way it works, and it is a great job. It's a great company to work for. I don't mind saying Federal Injury Centers is a really great company to work for. I think my staff believes that too. The problem is we just aren't hiring. So sorry
Yeah.
about that.
So again, look out for us next Thursday. We will be at the Quincy office for the open house. Come have a little drinky poo and some dessert with us. Also, those of you that are in the Tampa Bay area and Clearwater area, next Monday and Tuesday, I will be out doing some marketing. I will be heading up the VA outpatient clinics, the VA hospital in Tampa. So don't try to kick me out. And I'll be going around to some post offices that a few of you have asked me to bring brochures by. I'll be going to the post office at the Tampa airport. I'll be going to the post office, the big one in downtown Ybor, and a few in Tampa and Clearwater. So those of you from APWU, I hope you're going to recognize me. I'll be in there with my Federal Injury Center shirt, dropping off
Hey, clerks,
brochures.
don't say no when she says, "Will you put this brochure in your break room?" Don't say no. Don't say I don't know if I can. Don't say I'm not allowed to. The break room belongs to you. Ask around. You can do it.
So, in all the time I've been doing this for the last almost 8 years, I think literally two people, two post offices have taken the three brochures I gave them that I said to put into the break room, have threw them in the trash.
Probably a
Just
stupid
two.
buzzer.
And it's probably is. So that's why when I go and if it's somebody that I recognize, I give them the brochures, or if not, I ask for the shop steward. So if you're in the office Monday and Tuesday at the VA outpatient clinics, some of the post offices in Tampa and Clearwater, and also and TSA. If you're in those areas, I will be swinging by to drop off some brochures and some CA10s for you guys to have and see if I can get you guys scheduled for union training. Oh, and on that, before we let you go, I am going to start my 2024 campaign on getting into your union conventions that you guys want us
Your
to, because
state convention.
your state, yeah, for your state conventions, because we already missed a whole bunch, and we're going to try not to repeat the state maybe every year, maybe go back every other year. But if you are interested in having us come out for next year or even the end of this year, don't forget, we still have some open times in our calendar. Just email me, Gini at federalinjurycenters.com. It's between 2 to 3 hour training by Chris. We don't charge. Um, and it's pretty much fun. We bring books and brochures and whatnot. And what else? That's it. So
Did
we're
you
gonna
say that I
pick.
need everybody in attendance to be
Yeah,
in the
we
room?
yeah we can't be having where there's 10 people because we are flying to
And
come do this
I want to
training.
make a maximum impact, and you can't make a maximum impact teaching 10 people. I can do that by Zoom. When I'm live and training people, I like to have 100, 200 people in the room. It's exciting for me to have everybody there. The last time the California APW, which by the way was fantastic, I mean, unbelievably great. We get such great interaction. There's Q&A, and it really fires me up. I love doing this. I used to have stage fright, but I broke myself of that bad habit, thank God. And I love talking to you in person.
Rebecca, you asked if I can come to the Atlanta VA. If you can private message me, I will work with you, and my answer is yes.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
we'll come to the Atlanta VA. Absolutely. I do want to point out that Emmy is on here, and Emmy says she loves her job. Emmy, thank you, and we love
We
you.
love you too. Can't wait to see you next week.
And many of you should know. I mean, Emmy's one of those that works in the background, training the offices. But the other thing Emmy does is she's involved in the workup of every one of your injury claims.
Yep.
Every one of them. The doctors are required, and their case managers in the office are required to run things past Emmy to make sure everything goes smoothly. So everybody give a lot of love to Emmy. Without her, a lot of your claims would be in rough shape. So we're really lucky to have her.
We got Kevin says, I love working under the FIC umbrella. We love having you as a part of our franchise.
And Kevin said he hits 65 post offices every month. And the reason that is because we train all the offices to take their brochures to you to let you know they are there to help. And, most of you don't have a clue where to go when you get hurt. And so when they're going there, it's not a solicitation. You get to choose anywhere you want to go. Nobody's going to your post office saying, hey, who here is hurt and wants to come to the doctor. All we're saying is just put this brochure in your break room so people have a fighting chance to get help. So if you're a clerk, we love you. Please say yes.
Ron, we are definitely going to have you on our podcast.
Hell
We,
yeah,
we
you're at the
can't
top of the
wait.
list,
So
buddy.
don't even worry about that. Tim Vanderman that runs all the DMV offices says it's a joy to help fight and get claims approved. It takes somebody with a heart like that to actually say that, because you guys know we struggle with getting people to even join the franchise, and here's what he's saying. That's great. Maria said, I love being a mail carrier, but management tries to make it unbearable. Oh, we know.
And Bruce, listen, I'm the first one. I'll say this out loud. I'm going to read it out loud. Bruce said he's had a bad experience with one of the federal injury centers. Things happen like that. I'd love a chance to fix it, because that's what we do, as you see. Thankfully, the vast majority of people don't have a problem. That's how we got over 1,100 claims approved last year. But you matter as much as anybody that had their claim approved, and I'd like to help. So send us a private message, and whatever the issue is, we'll probably have it cleared up tomorrow. I know the guy in charge.
And Dr. Cooper said, Federal Injury Centers of Phoenix City, Georgia, and Federal Injury Centers of Forest Park, Georgia are here. We love to help, even though Columbus, Georgia is in the dark and we have no power tonight. They're still helping people. Look at them. And then Acura and the person that wants us to come to the VA, what you have to do, the private message is either on my personal page, Sarojini Helms. You can private message me there, or once the live is done, you can go into the messenger right here and message me any other questions or any other things you want to discuss outside of this topic.
Yeah.
And let's see. Victor said, thank you guys for everything you do for postal workers. Solidarity.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're with
Victor.
you, Victor. You know it.
Zin Decker, last question for the night. How much does comp pay under CA2 going to go to one of your centers in a week?
Pays exactly as much as a CA1. An approved claim is an approved claim. It doesn't matter how the injury happened. Once the claim is approved, it pays the same.
And Emmy said, it's all about helping our federal workers and getting their claims approved. I learned from the best. Love you guys. Can't wait for next week. Oh, Emmy, you're so cute. Yeah. So again, those of you that want to come out and see us next week, we're going to be in Quincy, Massachusetts. We hope to see everybody there. AFGE, federal employees, USPS employees, come on down, come say hello, and we look forward to.
And we're going to be in Charlotte soon after that too.
Yeah, we're going to be at the 2-year anniversary for Charlotte on the last Thursday of the month. They're having a Hawaiian theme party.
And now we're going to be in Atlanta sometime.
Yeah. So,
I get to go eat at one of my favorite restaurants.
Let us know. So with that said, everybody, thank you for all of your questions. We hope we answered them thoroughly. If you still are confused or have any more questions right after the live, you can go ahead and message us and we'll answer that.
And those of you that said that you're having problems at one of the offices, I have an opportunity to fix problems now. So please don't avoid messaging us. I really need to know what's going on so I can fix these things. I don't want it to happen to someone else.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting us know.
All right, guys, we will see you next week. If you guys have any other questions, message us. This is all of our locations at federalinjurycenters.com. Click the locations tab right here. If you are looking to buy any of the books or the PDF, go to www.breakingowcp.com.
Oh, hold on. Zen says he's got a quick question and I'm inclined to answer. Hit me. And while we're at it, shout out to Dr. Cooper for getting my case approved. Way to go, Karen. Hey, Zen, here we go. Your Kansas City office is only open Monday through Wednesday. Is that changing? When the Kansas City office gets a lot busier, it will expand. I wasn't actually aware they're only open Monday through Wednesday. Troy, you're on here still. Is that correct? And let's talk about that. Thanks for that, Zen.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys all next week. And yeah.
All right. Hey,
have a good night.
Everyone. Good to see everybody again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.